back to DexTv. Today we are with Andy Wilson, who is a director. So Andy, what do you do as a job?
I direct television drama. I've done one feature film for the cinema. I do things like Miss Marple and Poirot and Ripper Street and Spooks and more recently World on Fire.
What are you most well known for?
I think probably a show called Unforgotten that's on television at the moment, a police show.
So what's Unforgotten about?
It's a show where the police find a dead body that's been killed or murdered 25 years ago, and they have to find out who it is because, you know, it's obviously an old body in the ground or something, and then they have to find out who did it. And it's people who have got away with it for 25 or 30 years and think they've got away with it, but they haven't.
What?
That's why it's called Unforgotten, because, you know, the person in the ground is not forgotten.
How did you become a director?
Well, I started off as wanting to be an actor, and then when I didn't get to be an actor, I became a circus clown, and then afterwards I started directing comedy shows and physical shows with lots of dance and movement and physical comedy. And then I got interested in filming those shows, and then I got interested in filming other things, and I started making little films for myself with my own money, which is very silly. Don't ever do that. And then eventually got a job, you know, directing, making films for television.
Awesome. What was it like being a clown?
Great. I was with two very good circuses and had a lot of help from people who were really, really good at it. But yeah, no, it's very interesting because it's, you know, you do dance, don't you?
Yes.
Well, clowning essentially is comedy dance because you don't use words, you use your body and you move in, you know, funny
Never
ways.
thought of it like that.
So it's not so far away from dance, and I knew a lot of dancers, and I knew a lot of people who did mime. You know what mime is?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
all that stuff. And so I got very interested in how you tell a story just using your body, and because I like making people laugh. I suppose I went into clowning rather than dance, and also I'm a useless dancer. So if you're rubbish at something, don't do it.
Probably won't make much money, will you?
No, I think it's a bit of a shame.
Time. So as dancers, obviously we do lots of performances.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the year, we're always like trying to get on our technique, but near the end and towards the shows, it's always about trying to like perfect our acting skills,
Yeah.
make sure we're telling a story. How would you say, like, what would help us?
Well, exactly that. You have to understand that all performance, whether it's dance or singing or, you know, you're trying to engage an audience. And how do you engage an audience? Is you tell them a story in a beautiful or an interesting or a exciting or a funny or an elegant way. So you have to actually hone your skills in front of an audience to hold the audience. You know when you say hold the audience. So if you're just doing stuff, they're not going to respond to it. But if you're actually connecting with an audience, holding their attention.
So to end off, do you have any tips or tricks to help young aspiring actors or actresses?
Practice. Do it. Get in front of an audience and tell them a story. I mean, literally that. Tell them a story. Whether you want to do it with a dance, with a song, with a little play that you've written, you have to do it. You have to get in front of an audience and you have to actually give them something. And the word give is the most important word. When you're performing, you're giving. Why would people pay to see you perform unless you give them something? So that's the trick, that's the tip. Work out and learn how to give your audience the best that you can give them, whether it's in a film, a play, a book. You know, you have to give to the audience what you think they want to hear or what you want to tell them. So that's it, really.
So thank you, Andy, for joining us.
You're welcome.
And that's it for DexTv. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.